Parasites are in our body. They're everywhere. And we used to parasite cleanse, other cultures do it twice a year, once a year. We don't do it at all. And they can have millions and millions of lay millions and millions of eggs in your body, like daily,
Wow.
which is crazy. And our immune system, our body is supposed to take care of that, but because we're so depleted and our immune systems are just really shot, these parasites and things can really kind of grow in the body.
Welcome back to episode number 87 of the 100 Successful Women, a Conversation to Inspire series. I am Vivienne Pham, and today's episode is one that I know so many of you will resonate with. We're talking about something that almost every woman experiences at some point of time, feeling constantly tired, overwhelmed, and like you are running on empty. In this episode, I'm joined by the amazing Marcella Mondesir, who is also a Leo sister, a holistic health and detox coach who have helped over 100 women reclaim their energy and feel like themselves again. As a mom and business owner, Marcella truly understands the pressure of juggling everything. And in this conversation, she shares what's really behind that exhaustion and how we can start restoring our energy from within. If you have been feeling burnt out or disconnected from yourself lately, this episode might just be for you. Let's dive in for our conversation coming up next. Hi, Marcella. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing? Thanks for having me here.
I am so excited, and again, happy Thanksgiving to you. And I know that it's Sunday night still at where you are. Thank you so much for joining me on your Sunday night.
Of course, it's a good way to end a Sunday.
Yeah, and it's Monday here. So for those of you who are listening in, you might be curious, how do I get to know Marcella? We have such a divine timing together. Last few weeks when we were doing a course, and then we were in the breakout room maybe is that close to 2 hours or around
It was like 2 hours, or at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, and we kind of like stuck together in that breakout room for a while, and we learned so much about each other. And one thing that is so fascinating, we found out that we are both Leo.
Yes, Leo power. Yes, we're both Leos. We both have, your birthday was only like a couple days.
That's
Are you
right.
August 8th?
12th.
12th, yes, 2 days away. Yeah, and I'm the 10th. So it was good to have two Leos stuck in a room together for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
It was so special moment for both of us, and I told Marcella that we got to connect again, and hence she's here joining me on this 100 Successful Women podcast to learn more about what she's doing.
I love it. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you so much, Marcella. So we're going to learn a lot more about Marcella through our conversation. But what I know about Marcella, she is a detox coach. She is obviously a mom. She is an entrepreneur. So first question that I always ask the women on the podcast is that, Marcella, despite all the labels that putting on you, the hats that you're wearing, who is Marcella at your core?
We're starting deep. We're going deep right away. Oh, who am I at my core? Wow. I am a helper. I love to help. I get a lot of joy from improving people's lives and improving my own. I'm like a problem solver. I love to problem solve. I love joy. I've always been someone that really just goes for joy, like finding things that I love, really creating a life that time is short. And I found that my mother passed away in 2020, so I just really realized how short time is. And I think a lot of times we live life without looking for the joy. So I think at the core, I love to help people. I love life. I love joy. I have a dance company. I love to dance. I love to help people with health. I think the search for me is truly finding my authenticity and who I am. And I think the best way to find that is through following your joy. And that is what this chapter of my life has been, is really finding my joy in the things that I love to do and that give me energy versus things that I think I'm supposed to do. So that's kind of been a little of my journey. But yes, joy and helping others is, I guess, if I had to pick two words, that is who I am. At this point, it always changes.
I love that. Joy. It's so cool. Love that, because that's the things that people tend to forget about, and I definitely can see that in Marcella, because throughout our training together, I can see that she's actually blowing up the chat. She is so supportive of everyone, and another thing that we learned together when I learned more about Marcella, she's someone who loves dancing, and she even owned a dancing company that is so good. I love dancing, but I can never coordinate my hand and leg, Marcella. If I'm
I don't
at
know.
where
I think
you
I need
are,
to see it. I got to see it.
if I'm at where you are, definitely will join you at your dance school and teach me to dance more as well.
I love it. You guys heard it here. Vivienne is coming to my dance company and she's going to dance.
Yes, that's a date, and that will be definitely on my vision board to go to where Marcella is. Where is the exact place that you're in?
I'm in Columbus, Ohio. So
Okay.
we're a little far apart, but that doesn't matter.
Yes, that's very far, but definitely we're going to see each other. I strongly believe that it's not going to be too far away for this to happen.
I can't wait.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that with us, Marcella. And another question that I would like to ask is that you have been studying in holistic health and detox for over a decade. That's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what first drew you to this path, and how did it evolve that now empowers high achieving moms?
Yeah. It's so funny. I don't know. You asking me that, I thought even further back to when I started exploring this. And it actually, my mother and I was at one of my, I think maybe my 13th birthday. She fell off a horse. We went horseback riding. She fell off of a horse and ended up having like some neck issues and then started getting anxiety. It was kind of like a spiral of things. And so she started to go into like a more holistic health route. And as she did that, like as a kid, I kind of learned. So it's like even further back. But we really got into it when my mother was diagnosed with cancer in, it was like 2013 or 14. And she took care of it naturally, holistically. I got to watch my mother go through this. You know, in my family, it's very, there are a lot of family members that have had cancer. And she was kind of nervous to go the holistic route, but also felt like this is what I should do. And I got to witness it, and it was beautiful. It was truly, truly a beautiful thing. But unfortunately, about, I think 5 or 6 years afterwards, she got it again. And it was just everywhere in her body. Unfortunately, it was in her brain, her eyes, her gut lining, lungs, liver, bones. It was just absolutely everywhere. So they gave her 4 to 6 weeks to live. I was in college at the time. I remember my stepdad had called me and he was like, hey, you need to come home. So I came home, I saw my mom, and she was like, I'm not leaving this earth in that short amount of time. And I was like, okay. So this time we went the conventional route, but we used holistic therapies as well. And she went from 4 to 6 weeks to live, and she lived for another 3.5 years after that. So I got to see a lot of amazing things of how you can pair holistic health with, you know, if people want to go a conventional route, it doesn't have to be one way or the other. You can combine that, but it's really beautiful to see how both of those camps were able to kind of come together. But yeah, I did holistic health stuff with her. And then when she passed away, I moved to California and I met a woman who was a detox coach on the beach in California randomly. And so I ended up doing her program, and then she hired me in, and I got to see more detox strategies, because there's holistic health and then there's a deeper layer, which is detox. And a lot of people don't understand that. And once I learned that, I was just, it kind of broke my heart, because I'm like, if I had known this when my mom was sick, we could have even maybe prolonged her life even more. But anyway, throughout my life, I have seen how healing the body and supporting the body is the best way to heal and have energy and feel good. And yeah, I've just been obsessed with it ever since. So that's kind of that section of it. And then of course, as a mom, when I gave birth to my daughter at 6 weeks old, she had a brain hemorrhage.
Oh.
Yeah, so she ended up having 3 brain surgeries, and I was just completely depleted. I was exhausted. It was just me. I'm a single mom, and I'm like, I want to give my all to this child, but I also am like just living off fumes. And so I took all of the information that I had learned from helping my mom and from doing the detox, and I combined that so that I could create energy for myself. And I just realized how important mothers are. Mothers are like the backbone of families, of society, and
Mm.
most of us are just tired. We're exhausted all the time. And so I thought, I really want to work with mothers specifically because they're so tired. And a lot of times they're the ones who get sick. They're the
Mm.
ones that are passing away from these diseases that are preventable. And I really want to create a space for moms where they can come and they can really take care of themselves. So that's kind of how a little bit of a timeline of how I got into this and how I started working with moms.
Wow. So how did your mom know about all this holistic approach?
She was always someone who kind of didn't follow the crowd. And so anytime someone told her something, she researched it, she looked it up, she went a little deeper. And it seems like once you start like a little bit of holistic stuff, it's just like a rabbit hole. You go deeper and deeper and deeper. And I think that's how she got into it. And also the medication that she was taking to deal with the anxiety and the neck pain was making her feel worse. And so a lot of times we don't change until we kind of have to. And she was like, I just can't do this anymore. So what are my other options? And by exploring that, it kind of opened up a whole new world for her and for the family.
That's such an amazing thing that your mom is doing, and it impacted you to be on this path as well.
Yeah, I'm eternally grateful that my mom was able to, be different and go a different route because I don't know where I would be if I didn't know this information. I'm very thankful for that she took the first step.
I love that you're also helping other moms out there, which is so true. All the moms put themselves last and they tend to
Always.
have all this pressure and depression on them because they just forgot about them. So as a mom yourself, so you, and especially as a single mom, you have all these roles, all these tasks that's on you. So you understand even in a deeper level how exhaust all these women are. So what do you think is the biggest energy drainers for mothers out there?
That's a good question. I actually have like a little quiz that I have my clients go through to find all the energy drains. I think it depends. Everything I look at in a holistic lens, right? So there's the physical, of course. Sometimes they're living off of coffee. They don't get breakfast in the morning. They're rushing all the time. Their nervous system is you're literally in fight or flight mode from the second you wake up to the time you go to bed. That is a drain. Also, something that a lot of people don't think about is like when we're mothers, we give so much of ourselves that we lose what we used to do before we were moms or things that brought us joy. I love to ride horses and I don't really get to do that anymore. So I have to find other things, hobbies and things that give me joy and purpose outside of my daughter, because that can be an energy drain when you feel like I'm alive to support another human. But where are you underneath all of that? So those are kind of some of the drains. But yeah, I have my clients go through a quiz and just kind of rate things because you might eat super healthy and you might be wondering like, why am I still exhausted? And maybe it's because of this other energy drain. Maybe you're not taking time for yourself, or maybe you're taking a lot of time for yourself, which is great, but the way that you eat and the things that you drink are not supporting you. So it just depends. I'm very much someone who works on a personal level with people. So your energy drain could be completely different than someone else. But I definitely think those are the big ones. Food, coffee, not taking time for themselves, and not having a purpose outside of their family.
Yeah, not having a purpose probably is one of the biggest one as well. Yeah, that's where they lost their joy, like what you mentioned at the beginning of our conversation. So what can these women do that they can begin to do to reclaim their vitality? I think you did mention about doing something that interests them. What are something that they can begin to do right away?
I think first is finding clarity on what's your biggest energy leak so that you can focus on that, right? So maybe for someone it's, I don't even get to drink enough water throughout the day. And it's like, okay, let's work on your water intake. And I'm very big on hydration. A lot of people don't know how to properly hydrate. Just drinking water is not enough. So a lot of times we're drinking water all day and we're like, why am I still feeling like I'm just thirsty all the time? So sometimes I'll focus on that. Sometimes it's like, okay, what did you love to do when you were in like 4th grade? Like what made you happy? What did you love to do? And so we kind of work to find out what that was and we start to incorporate some of that. In terms of health, I always say like wake up in the morning, have some lemon water with some maple syrup just to get things moving. Have a bowel movement before you start doing anything else, and then take like 5 minutes for yourself. A lot of times we're bombarded with like, you should do meditation and breath work and do this and this and this, and there's just not enough time in the day. But you can create 5 minutes of just silence for yourself. A lot of times we kind of relax by watching a TV show or being on our phone, and that doesn't actually calm our nervous system. So you will get much more out of just sitting in silence for 5 minutes than you're gonna get out of watching a TV show or a movie or Netflix or anything like that. So I would say like lemon water in the morning, and then taking 5 minutes for yourself, and also kind of deciding like, you know, what things bring me joy? What do I love to do? And then really trying to find little ways to incorporate that. It doesn't have to be stressful. Maybe you love to play tennis. So it's like once a week, I play tennis. And you will find when you start doing that and putting yourself, not necessarily first, but just valuing yourself, you're gonna start to get a little more energy back in your life.
Oh, that's so good. And you did mention maple syrup. What's that? What does that do?
Yeah, it's just a little
maple syrup in the morning.
Yeah, it's a little sweetener. Lemon water can be a little like rough on the taste buds. Yeah, so you can put some maple syrup in there. You don't have to, but it's a nice drink, and you do a little warm water with the lemon, and it's just a nice way to wake up. I always tell my ladies to hydrate in the morning before you have coffee. Because if the first thing you do is you wake up and you have coffee, you're dehydrating yourself, which is going to automatically give you less energy throughout the day. So I don't necessarily say like no coffee, but spend the first couple hours of the day just hydrating, and you probably won't even need it.
So the maple syrup is to put together with the lemon water?
Yep, just a little sweetener in there.
Oh, okay. We might try that. Never tried that before.
Yeah, it's nice. And then another thing that I have my clients do is put a little salt in their water, make sure it's a mineral salt. But when your nervous system is depleted, it pulls minerals from the body. So we have to re-mineralize the body. So just having a pinch of salt under your tongue with some water throughout the day will also give you a little energy boost.
Yeah, because you talk about drinking water, and I'm so bad with that because I try to drink water. The minutes I drink like a cup of water, I'll go to toilet like 800 times throughout the day. That's how bad
and that tells you that you're not actually absorbing the water. So what happens is when we drink water that isn't mineralized, it literally goes right out of your body. When there are minerals in the water, then your cells can actually absorb it, and then you won't have to pee as much. You'll actually absorb the water and hydrate yourself. So I know a lot of people tell you like, oh, if you're peeing clear, that's great. I actually don't believe that. A light pale yellow color is fine. We're going deep already, okay, ladies? We're talking about bowel movements and pee already. But yes, you want to make sure that you're absorbing it. So if you start drinking and you're peeing all day long, then you're not absorbing the water properly. So you need to add minerals, add some salt, and try that.
So mineral, what do I just have to add salt in there, or what do I do?
You can add salt. There's some mineral drops as well. Also having like fruits and juices. I like to eat my hydration. So water-rich fruits and vegetables, that's really good. I mean, when I was in California, I lived there for a little bit, I never drank water. I just drank fruit juices and I had fruits, and I was never ever thirsty. But here in Ohio, it's a little colder, so I don't drink juices all the time. So yeah, you can add salt to your water, or even having coconut water. That's another really good one.
Wow, I am such a good treat to be in this conversation with Marcella. It helped me to solve my problem as well. I'm going to definitely try what you just told me, Marcella, and see how it go.
Yes, try it. And my other thing, listen, now that we're on water, never drink tap water. Tap water is absolutely horrible for you. You should have a filter, or you can go ahead and order like spring water as well. So listen, I won't go too deep. I'm good. I want to, but I will rein myself in. But yes, make sure that you're not drinking tap water ever.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for sharing. That's such a great tips there. I love that. You have support like more than 100 clients, and you actually built a 6-figure coaching business. So what the mindset shift that helped you to grow, that help you to become a businesswoman and also a healer yourself? What are some of the mindset shift that you had for yourself?
That's really good. I think for me, so when I was a 6-figure coach, I was actually working for the woman in California. And to be able to see her build a business and really create that wealth for herself so that she could pass that on to her employees, it like broke a barrier for me. because I come from like, a middle class family and they worked a job and it was fine. It paid the bills. I didn't know that you could generate that kind of wealth for yourself doing something that you truly care about. So I actually went to school. My undergrad and graduate degree is in opera performance. So I was a singer. And that environment is very much like, you don't make a lot of money. You are just, you're trying to find a paycheck here and there. You're auditioning. And I kind of felt like that's what life was going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really good. I mean, they always say this, successful people say this, your network is your net worth, right? And so being able to see people successful doing something that you didn't know was possible was definitely like a ceiling for me. So that was really good. And then just also the shift for me, and I'm still working on this, you can't please everyone. And to generate wealth in your life and have a business, because I have 2 businesses right now, you're going to disappoint people. And you cannot be successful if you operate from the mindset of how do I make everyone happy? And so that was really tough for me going into that, because when you're working with that many people, there's a lot of personalities, and I wanted to make everyone happy. And I realized in doing that, I wasn't really making anyone happy, and least of all myself. So you really have to approach business and life from a standpoint of like, I need to be authentic and true to myself. And some people absolutely love it and some people aren't. And that's okay. So that was a big, big mindset shift for me, because that was my whole childhood. A lot of my adult life was just being like a chameleon and trying to make everyone happy. And you can't be successful with that mindset.
Yeah, that's so true. I love that you are actually sharing 2 very, very important tips there. First is to surround yourself with the people that is going to uplift you, and the more you see what's possible, you find that your dream is actually getting bigger as well. It helps you to see a bigger possibilities in ourselves. Yeah. And the second one, I love the second one. We can't please anyone, because not everyone's going to be on the same path with you.
Yeah, that's a big journey, because I feel like we are kind of programmed to like, we need to make other people happy. And I spent a lot of our adult life learning like we have to deprogram ourselves, because I pursued opera because everyone told me that's what I should do. That's what I was good at, right? So I felt like, okay, I should do that. And then as I started to explore like, what do I care about? That wasn't it. I still love opera. I still love that I was able to do that. But when you look at life from a place of what brings me happiness, how can I show up best in my life? It allows you to be more authentic, and people pleasing is the opposite of authenticity.
That's so big. I love that. And I love that you are one, you are just so talented. You not only can dance, you can sing. That's so amazing.
That's very sweet of you.
That is so good. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing with us about your journey, and that's some very, very deep conversation and so many great tips as well. And I know that you mentioned about drinking water in the morning and maybe some juice. What are some of the simple way of detox practice or holistic practice, especially for women, that can start even though you know that people can be crazy busy nowadays towards the end of the years, and what if they feel like they don't have time, don't have energy? What are some of the things that they can like simple and easy to start doing?
Yeah. In terms of detox, I'm going to be honest, it is a little more in depth. It takes more time. One detox strategy is definitely the lemon water, because that helps support the liver. But also another thing is like a castor oil pack. That's where you take castor oil and you put it over your liver, and you just have like a heating pad, and that supports the liver. So that's like something that doesn't take much time, is very supportive of the body. But yes, detoxing does get a little more intense. So the best way, this gentlest way to detox is to support your body's health. And that's eating whole foods, no seed oils. If you look at the ingredients, and there is sunflower oil, canola oil, things like that, those are not good oils that you want in the body. Another way is to stop using plastic. That raises the estrogen in your body, all those microplastics. So don't use plastic. Hydrating your body. Hydration is the best way to detox. That is truly, truly the best way to detox. So that's why I always give the lemon water in the morning and then eat your hydration. So if I would give you one thing to do, 2 things. Lemon water in the morning, and then spend the day eating your hydration. So having lots of fruits, don't worry about the sugar in fruits. There's nothing to worry about. That's like become a thing where we're stressed about our blood sugar in fruits. Fruits have fiber, and it's good for you. It has minerals. It's very important. So never ever limit your fruit intake. All of that hydration is very good for detox.
Can fruit replace food, especially for dinner?
So, yes, depending on how you feel, I actually was only on fruit for about 2 months of my life at one
Wow.
time. I do not recommend that, but I will tell you it is very nice to do like a 3-day fruit fast or just one day where you're having fruits, especially if you're feeling very heavy and you're like, I feel heavy, I'm down. If you want lightness, fruits, that's kind of your go-to. And having a juice fast or even just fasting, taking one day of not eating is really going to kind of reset your body, which is very important. But the detox stuff that I do that's more intense is we do like parasite cleansing, we're doing liver flushes, we're doing colon cleansing. So that's more of the detox side of it, and that does take time. It's not something that moms can't do, but it is a little deeper, for sure.
Well, I got so much out of it because the question that I asked is so related to me, especially because sometimes I struggle to eat fruit because once I have the meal, I don't feel like eating fruit because I feel that I'm full already. So I can either choose go to fruit or food myself. And on the other hand, Marcella, my daughter, she can live with her fruit only. So that's why I say, is that okay to just eat fruit?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could just live off fruit. If I lived on a gorgeous sunny island, I would probably just eat fruit all the time. But I definitely would say start your morning like as long as you can to like 10 or 11. I'll have my clients like hydrate and just have fruit so that the rest of the day your body isn't so full. When we wake up in the morning, we have eggs and bacon and potato. It's like just big meals on top of big meals on top of big meals. So we get back. And so having that fruit really flushes all of that waste and toxicity out of the body.
So it's making sense now because when we, especially in my culture, we grow up with breakfast is the most important one. So you eat like a king for your breakfast. And for my daughter, now she don't eat breakfast. So that's sometimes she just have her apples and that's it. I said, don't you feel hungry? But now listen to what you say. I feel not so bad for her as well.
Kids are much better at listening to their bodies than we are as adults. They know, like even my 3-year-old, she'll be like, I don't want to eat that. I'm full. Like we kind of push ourselves because we think, oh, I'm supposed to have a big meal for breakfast. But truthfully, the biggest meal should be lunch. That's when the sun is highest in the sky. That's when the digestive enzymes are, we have more of them. So having a light breakfast and then having a snack and then having a big lunch is ideal.
Marcella, I think your sharing your tips is so helpful, especially for my household. And it's just like, because sometimes there is this saying, the hungry for the kids is the hungry as in parent, where the kids feel hungry because we feel that they are hungry, but actually they are probably not.
No, we kind of push what we think on them. And of course you want to make sure that they're eating food throughout the day, but you know, sometimes they wake up and they're like, I just want some fruit. And then they want a snack later on. They're listening to their bodies. And a lot of times we've lost, especially at this age, that connection to our bodies. We've ignored it for so long. We honestly don't even know how to listen. And that's the beautiful thing about holistic health and detox is you have to listen to your body. And every client that I work with, the program changes because I ask them like, are we ready for this? And sometimes they're not. And sometimes they are before someone else is. So I kind of always adjust. But what's happening in life and why all of these cancer rates and preventable diseases are just taking so many women out is that there's so much toxicity in this world, right? And even our kids now are being born with toxic bodies. And unfortunately, we just keep adding more and more and more. And what detox is it cleanses all of that out. So it's like a reset for the body. So, you know, the reason that I call myself kind of more of a detox coach than a holistic health coach is that I think those that do the holistic health coaching are amazing, but a lot of people need the detox portion. And that's what people are missing. We have, I mean, like I said, parasites are in our body. They're everywhere. And we used to parasite cleanse, you know, other cultures do it twice a year, once a year. We don't do it at all. And they can have millions and millions of eggs in your body, like daily.
Wow.
which is crazy. And our immune system, our body is supposed to take care of that. But because we're so depleted and our immune systems are just really shot, these parasites and things can really kind of grow in the body. So it's very important that you detox to kind of like do a deep clean of the body. Holistic health is how you maintain that. So I like to do this together, but a lot of people just don't detox. They don't even know it's a thing to do. And for me, that was the really life-changing thing because I used to have horrible acne all over my face.
Mm-mm.
And I know, like, no matter what I did holistically, I would eat healthy. I took out dairy, I took out gluten. Nothing helped. When I started to do the parasite cleansing and the liver flushing and detoxing, that's when my health just changed for the better.
Wow. Wow,
Yeah.
we don't know what we don't know. And then that's something that we hear from Marcella today is something probably very new to many of us. And
Yeah.
that's amazing to get this from you. I think you can offer so much to people out there because, like I say, we don't know what we don't know unless somebody told us that. And we've been following blindly what we see online, but we never know that parasite is in our body. I only heard it from you today. It sounds so
Yeah.
scary.
I know. That's what I'm like, oh, should I bring that? But this is what I do. This is what I do. And, even when we get animals, we parasite cleanse our animals.
Yes.
But we don't think that we have parasite. It's like it's a part of life. It's a very normal part of life. But we have to make sure that we're cleansing the body to stay healthy.
Yes, amazing. Yeah, so for those people who wanted to find out more and how to do this detox thing that you share with us, where can people find you online, Marcella?
Yeah, I'm pretty active on Facebook. So it's just Marcella, Marcella, Mondesir, Mondesir. It's quite a mouthful of a name. So you can friend me there. You can send me a message. I do a 5-day challenge, a 5-day Reclaim Your Energy challenge. And that's where I work with you. We get to know each other for 5 days. I kind of see if you're a good fit, if we work well together. And I give you a lot of clarity on, where your energy drains might be, why. We're going to talk about parasites and things like that, things that you probably didn't think about. Because by the end of the 5 days, I want mothers to realize it's not normal to feel this way. And I think sometimes the reason mothers don't get help is because they think it's just, I'm a mom. I'm supposed to be tired. I'm supposed to feel like this. And maybe eventually when my kids get older, I'll have time for myself. And so I really want to create those 5 days where at the end, the mom is like, oh, like there's hope. I don't have to feel like this. I can have an amazing family life and I can also have an amazing, life for myself as well. So yeah, I always encourage people to do the 5-day challenge so we can get to know each other and then see if you're a good fit for the detox program.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that. It's so much moms out there that need to talk to you, I think. Yeah, thank you so much, Marcella, for sharing with us so many great tips and also your stories as well. I'm very well aware of the time. And one last question that I want to ask you, Marcella, what is the one piece of advice that you can give to other women out there? Maybe they're also running on empty, like you say, especially for moms.
The one piece of advice, I think I would say this. I hear a lot of times that mothers and fathers even are willing to die for their children, right? Which is very admirable. But I always encourage people to live for their children. And you have to make sure that you prioritize yourself. You're not doing anything wrong by putting yourself first. That's actually the right thing to do so that you can be around for your children and support your family in the way that I know that these mothers want to, right? A lot of times we're living day to day and we're doing what we need to be doing, but we're not thriving. And so I always encourage mothers to live for your children, which means putting yourself first. That's kind of like a bad connotation, right? It's like moms are so used to like, no, I put my kids first, like I'll sacrifice. And I lost my mom because all she did was sacrifice and wasn't able to prioritize her health. And I wish that she would have done more of that so that she could be here with me. So my greatest piece of advice is just prioritize yourself.
Prioritize yourself. That's such a important piece of advice for women, especially moms out there, because like you say, moms do whatever for their children, but then they tend to forget about themselves.
Yeah, and then it's a cycle because then your kids saw that all you did was sacrifice. So then when they have a family, they don't put themselves first and they sacrifice, and it becomes a generational thing. And be the the person who says, I'm going to do things a little differently. I'm going to prioritize myself so that I can be here for my child. And I think that is the greatest thing that you can do for yourself and your family.
Thank you so much once again, Marcella, for your time, for your tips. So for those of you, don't forget to reach out to Marcella, because I believe every one of us need the detox that she's sharing with us.
And I hope I didn't scare you guys off. I didn't know I was going to talk about parasites, but
yeah. So
I'm happy to have you guys.
Amazing. Before we wrap up, is there anything that you would like me to ask that I haven't asked yet, Marcella?
I don't think so. You did a great job of asking really, really good questions that made me think. I don't think so. No.
Thank you. Thank you so much for spending time with us. And I'm looking forward to maybe see you either in Australia or see you in the US soon.
I do have to come to Australia, and you do have to come to the US. So I don't know what's going to happen first, but you're going to dance when you come here. What do I need to do when I go to Australia? What's my thing that I need to do?
I'll think about it and let you know.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time, Marcella, and see you next time.
Sounds good. Thank you.